This video is the third in a series that is designed to help you give valuable information to Jehovah's Witnesses so that they can make an informed decision about their religious beliefs. It is intended to do for the witness what you would want done for you if you were a witness. We are coming to page 41 in their book, What Does the Bible Really Teach? This is the book that you're working with the Jehovah's Witnesses. This is their publication that they do want to talk to you about. And as you move through this publication, I have found that 2 to 3% of it is outside of the conservative evangelical community belief system. And you're going to focus on those and those alone. And just read the rest and say, that view is accepted within the evangelical community, and I'm fine with that. But when we get to these key points, this is when we have a concern, and you're going to bring up a question. So when we get to their book on page 41, where did Jesus come from? On page 41, paragraph 10, it says, the Bible teaches that Jesus lived in heaven before he came to earth. Micah prophesied that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem, and also said that his origin was from early times. On many occasions, Jesus himself said that he lived in heaven before being born as a human. Where we have a concern with that as evangelical Christians is their claim that Jesus had an origin from early times, because Jehovah's Witnesses believe that Jesus was created and he had an origin, singular, from early times. The problem with that is that this text in the Hebrew doesn't read quite that way. In Micah 5:2, this translation, which is mine that I'm using, the New American Standard, in Micah chapter 5 verse 2 says, his goings forth are from long ago, from the days of eternity. You notice that it's goings forth. It's plural. And indeed, that Hebrew word is plural. It's not singular. How can you have an origin that's plural? You can't have more than one origin if you're created. You can have one origin, but in Hebrew, this is plural, and there's a reason for that. This same Hebrew word appears elsewhere in the Old Testament. It's 2 Kings 10:27. Same Hebrew word. Now, when you go there, if you look up 2 Kings 10:27, you're going to be a little puzzled, because as you read there, you won't see a word, or won't appear to see a word, that means origin, or origins. That it is plural there. I'm going to read it out of this translation. It says, they also broke down the sacred pillar of Baal and broke down the house of Baal and made it a latrine to this day. The Hebrew word there, which is in Micah translated as origins, is the word that's translated latrine, because that's a place that you can come from. And so that's a place, rather than saying the latrine, they said, he's coming from the place you come from. It's not an origin. The latrine was not an origin where you're created or your existence can start. Rather, it means a place to travel from. So Micah 5:2 is saying that the Messiah, although he was born in Bethlehem, that's not where he comes from. That's not where he travels from, but rather he has traveled from long ago, from the days of eternity. And evangelical Christians believe that long ago, on more than one occasion, the one we know as Jesus, who is the Word of God, did visit earth and came forth from heaven, came forth from certain places on earth, and met certain people on earth. Potentially Genesis chapter 17 and Genesis chapter 18. So this is not speaking about an origin of creation, but rather a point of travel, where travel would start. And as we compared with 2 Kings 10:27, has nothing to do with origin. And as you get to this paragraph, you can mention, that's how you're going to bring this up, is that you're going to read this spot and say, my religious community or my religious upbringing has understood this verse differently. They don't understand it as being an origin from early times, but plural, origins, meaning places to come from, places to travel from. And I would be curious if you could tell me more about your understanding of Micah 5:2 and tell me more about the Hebrew word and what you believe it means, so that I can fold this in and understand what you believe, and I can chew on it and then decide for myself how closely this matches what I see in Scripture. And if you would do that, I'd really appreciate that. And don't argue with their answer, just leave it go and move on to the next paragraph.